Local and global communication in multicultural setting. What is communication? Communication is the bedrock of an organization or a society. It is the foundation for human interaction. It supports and capacitates individuals to connect, to share, to help, and collaborate with one another in order to develop common understanding and thus to survive. Local communication. At home, you might have heard, open the lights. In school, you have been asked the opposite, close the lights. In banks, you are asked to fall in line. These statements seem familiar as evidenced by their frequent usage, but when you try to look them up at English references, like the Oxford English Dictionary, they are nowhere to be found. Such statements are called Philippinism. Philippinism refer to words or phrases which are loosely translated from common Tagalog expressions. Sometimes they may cause confusion when applied to conversations with native English speakers. Here are examples of Filipinos' way and native speakers' way. Filipinos have adopted intercultural awareness and sensitivity in communicating ideas. To be bilingual means to be able to speak two languages. A multilingual means being able to speak more than two. This Filipino capability is vital in the Asian brotherhood and in the global village. Global communication. When you get to the Asian community and other parts of the global village, you ought to care about the terms and practices below. If you happen to ride on the Metropolitan Railroad, Transit, MRT and the Mega Manila and be busy on your phone, take note that in Japan using phones on the train is prohibited, but a fashionable girl may still bring out her latest gadget only to face police officer for possible reprimand or fine afterwards. Also, if you are a foreign visitor, remember that while dining at a good Japanese restaurant, biting, pointing, or playing with a chopstick is a no-no. Doing so is being very rude. Should you find your sandwich, your noodles of tasty, just slurp all you want. The Japanese, that means a very loud applause. Remember to never to embarrass a Japanese waitress by giving her a tip for her great service. A sincere thank you will do. Non-verbal communication in Japan is considered high context. That means that Japanese people rely less on words than on non-verbal hints to send meanings. They nod their heads to mean yes, but not right away. I agree because usually it means yes, I hear you, unlike the Filipino nod which means yes, I agree with you. In India, on the other hand, a head move from side to side means a yes, but do not be confused because in Bulgaria, the head nod up and down means no, and while yes is a head nod from side to side. Go to South Korea. Social awareness is given premium importance. Koreans see to it that they do not anyway offend others in words or deed. They look out consciously for others' feelings to sustain an amiable social atmosphere. Personal dignity is always protected. That is why a respected person sees to it that confrontations are avoided. So the next time you see a beautiful lady, a catcall will do no good, but the familiar annyeonghaseyo or good morning, good afternoon, good evening will definitely be a hard. These are just a snapshot of the world's various terminologies, expressions, and practices. Being aware about them will definitely give you an edge in today's multilingual encounters. To be sensitive about them is another matter. Intercultural communication. Intercultural communication examines the influence of culture on who people are, how they act, feel, think, and evidently speak and listen. Also, it is a communicative process involving individuals from different cultures to overcome certain personal and or contextual barriers in order to achieve effective communication. Exploring cultural dialectics. 4 variables used to demonstrate cultures: individualism versus collectivism. The cultural dimension of individualism versus collectivism reveals how people define themselves in their relationship with others. High context versus low context communication. According to Edward T. Hall, 1976, low context cultures to refer to societies or groups that are rule-oriented, individualized, and detail-oriented. The people's communication style is informal. Meanwhile, high context cultures refer to societies or groups where people are implicit, indirect, and group-oriented. They have close connections over a long period of time. Low power distance versus high power distance. Power distance measures the extent to which individuals are willing to accept power differences. Masculine or feminine culture. Cultures differ in their attitudes towards gender roles. Cause of cultural ignorance. Communicators who fail to realize cultural differences pay a high price. Cultural misunderstanding often result to lost chances and increased levels of tensions between and among people and groups. Your awareness and sensitivity to the diverse culture of the world, as well as its unique languages, plus utmost respect to its citizen regardless of race, color, gender, religion, among others, will position you at vantage points and opportunities in various platforms, the print, broadcast, and the hyperspeed and hyperactive social media. Managing cultural differences. Cultural differences are inevitable. Hence, it is important to understand and respect one another to achieve successful intercultural relations, to bridge intercultural gaps, to promote harmonious interpersonal relationships, and to sustain interconnectedness. Communicators should seek to understand and to respect the culture of one another. They should determine how they encode messages, what appropriate medium to choose for transmitting the messages, how to interpret correctly the messages, and what feedback to give. According to Man Jiang, the following are considered barriers of intercultural communication. The Language Network for Quality Assurance, LANQUA, European Union, suggests the following activities and methods to enhance intercultural communication skills. Likewise, to manage intercultural communication properly, here are important strategies to be considered. Moreover, it is also necessary to use politically correct language and avoid sexist language in order to not offend others. Politically correct language is a language that does not unjustly place any group above others or does not discriminate against any group of people. Language register, a variety of a language used in a particular social setting, using certain words, phrases, and contractions that are not normally used in other settings, or if they did, they may sound strange or out of place. Language register was first used by Thomas Bertram Reid in 1956. Jules 1961 describes 5 styles of language register in English as follows: static or frozen style. The variety of language used in this style is fixed. The language rarely or never changes. Formal style. This style is used in official and ceremonial style. Those the language that is being used in standard, impersonal, and formal. Consultative style. This style maintains a professional tone following the societal expectation. This is used in professional discourse. Casual style. This type is what you and your friend use because you share the same interests. It is informal and relaxed. Intimate style. This style is private and interpersonal. Other experts add other style. Aggressive style. This style is shown in forcefully demanding and sometimes hostile manner. Passive style. Passive communicators avoid expressing their thoughts and emotion. Submissive style. This style is used to please others, to avoid conflict or resistance, to obey or do willingly what others want. Assertive style. This is the healthiest style. This is used by self-assured person who communicate with confidence. The 3 most common language register in writing are: the formal register is more appropriate for professional writing and letters to a boss or a stranger. The informal register, also called casual or intimate, is conversational and appropriate when writing to friends and people you know very well. The neutral register is non-emotional and sticks to fact. Understanding and taking control of the use of the styles of language register enable you to send messages and to respond effectively under diverse situations. Use the suitable styles. By choosing the appropriate styles, misunderstanding and communication breakdown can be prevented.